Hello, my name is Matthew Pfeiffer with mattpfeiffercoaching.com. Welcome to my YouTube channel. On this channel, I create videos and content about narcissistically abusive relationships and also emotional intelligence and self-development. And if you have a question that you'd like for me to answer, make sure you send it to justaskmatt at mattpfeiffercoaching.com. Again, that is justaskmatt at mattpfeiffercoaching.com. So make sure you keep that email 2 to 3 paragraphs max, and you're also very direct and to the point of what your question actually is. If you also want my help, if you need a little bit more attention, you can also join my YouTube membership. I have different courses. I have discounts on different things and different services that I offer. And you can just choose the tier that best fits for you and your budget. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe notification and the bell notification so you're notified for each and every time I upload a new video. I upload a new video on this channel 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. So with all that being said, let's get into today's email. This email comes from a person who is struggling with custody with her narcissistic ex. And if you know anything about custody and narcissists love using children as pawns, and this person is dealing with what seems to be some manipulation where the narcissist is trying to manipulate the child into staying with them more, but it's backfiring. And so we're going to break this down and see how we can help this person out. Maybe it helps you out in the process as well. So with all that being said, let's get into today's email. Today's email reads, hey, Matt, our son is about to turn 5 this summer. I left the narcissist when the child was 5 weeks old. So one of the things I want to say, because she's going to go on to say that they did 50-50 custody. One of the things I'll say about this is, for those of you who are in this situation and your child is an infant, talk to your lawyer about what's called a step-up plan. So instead of doing 50-50 with a child that is extremely young, do a step-up plan where one person has majority of the custody, and the person has the opportunity to step up as time goes along. Reason why, for a handful of reasons, it's not like that the narcissist is going to keep up with that arrangement and they're going to step outside of it. And so it helps protect you in the future. We're going to see why that's important here in a second. So this email continues. He won 50-50 custody since he is a first responder and works 48 hours on and 48 hours off. We have to exchange our son every 48 hours and have done so for the last 4.5 years. Our child never had an issue going until April this year. He has flat out refused to go to see his dad and screams and cries. I keep pushing him to go because of the order. I suggested counseling and he's attended 2 sessions so far. He says he's scared to go and he's going to miss his mommy, or says he will never see me again. So the fact that he's saying that he's never going to see you again, something's probably up, right? It's one thing for him to miss you. That's very common. But it's another thing for him to wonder if he's ever going to see you again. The email continues, then says different reasons of he has bad dreams there, or he can't say, oh my God, just different things. So it sounds like from a 5-year-old standpoint, he's being nitpicked, right, about a lot of different things that he says and a lot of different things that he does. This has been well over a month now, and we have court at the end of this month to determine where he will attend school and reside Monday through Friday. So one of the things that we want to point out here, so this person is going to court for custody, basically for for the school hours, Monday through Friday, right? And then they'll figure out everything else from there. One of the things that we want to point out, because I know that this email is going to be heading towards the relationship between the son and the father, with the son being afraid of going over there. When it comes to custody, you have to remember that custody is all about the best interest of the child. So let's circle back, right? Because I know that it's been 50-50 up until this point. One of the main concerns that the court is going to look at is actually your ex-husband's schedule, the 48 hours on, 48 hours off. He's not capable of having him Monday through Friday and keeping a consistent schedule, right? That alone really should be a deal breaker. The fact that your 50-50 arrangement had to be 48 hours on, 48 hours off because his schedule was so rigorous, and he's going to be on call or at the station, depending on what type of responder he is, for 48 hours for a total of 48 hours. He can't have a Monday through Friday, right? Unless he has someone, unless he is with someone, unless he's dating someone, unless he is married and that person is now going to have custody. But that's still a very strong argument for you in court. So that's something that you really need to be talking to your lawyer about, is that his work schedule doesn't allow for him to have a Monday through Friday. So you should default should have a Monday through Friday. But let's continue with this email and let's break this down even further. But the second session, the doctor feels that there is fear there, and he is very anxious when you try to talk about it to him or ask him questions. And I agree 100%. I have read that the narcissist uses manipulation to make the child not visit the other parent and scared of the other parent, and that they use that in court. They do, right? And I know what you're about to say here, and she says it here. I'm scared because I have done nothing wrong, and I have never said anything bad about his dad to our son, or even around him. I am the safe parent, and I feel that he is doing something that I can't prove. Have you dealt with this before? I've dealt with it multiple times a week for several years. This is probably one of the more common things that I deal with. I have wondered if I'm the narcissist. That's what I knew you were going to get to. I've wondered if I'm the narcissist since he doesn't want to go see his dad. That's so. Yes, it's true that narcissists can try to convince children to go see their dad, but the fact that you're concerned with you being a narcissist, it's not likely that you're the narcissist. I wouldn't let that hold weight. It sounds like there's a lot of healing that you need to do. It's very common for codependents and people pleasers to think that about themselves, right? And sounds like you still don't have a really good grasp on who you are as a person, right? You may still struggle with a lot of codependent and people pleasing traits. I'm hearing a lot of elements in the beginning of this in terms of codependency and things like that. I don't know for sure, but right, people who typically struggle with wondering if am I the narcissist typically are people that don't have a good grasp of who they are as an individual, because narcissists typically don't care that if they're narcissistic or not, right? They don't care how their behavior lands. They don't care if their behavior is causing issues with their child and things of that nature. All they know is that it's self-serving. But let's continue with this email. His dad is going to try and say that it's me damaging our son and keeping him away. I feel awful when I'm trying to force him to go. So one of the things that we want to mention and bring up to the lawyer, right? We definitely want to mention about the son going to not wanting to go to his dad's, how there's fear there, and we want to make sure that we make this an issue. We do. And yes, the narcissist is. It doesn't matter if the son wanted to go or not. The narcissist was likely going to say this, right? They say whatever they can to land and try to get something to stick in court. If it's not one thing, it's another. Even if the son wanted to go, he probably would still say that you're trying to manipulate, that you're trying to push him on him. Even if he, let's say the son wanted to stay with him all the time, the narcissist would spin that and say that you aren't doing anything. This is all about trying to shame you in court, that sort of thing. So it doesn't matter. So let's forget about what the narcissist has to say. You're never going to please them. They're never going to say that you're a good parent. They're always going to have something negative and bad to say about you. So let's stop trying to please the narcissist, and let's make this about the son, and let's make this about the actual case, right? Fuck the narcissist. Right? In reality, we need to be focused in on what is in the best interest of the child. Your ex-husband's schedule doesn't allow for him to have a Monday through Friday. That's number one. Right? So you need to talk to your lawyer. You need to construct how that looks and how that needs to be best presented to the court about how your ex-husband's schedule, and if there's other things, how he has to stay on call and stay late and stay for 48 hours straight, and how he's exhausted during the 48 hours that he does have him, and how that's going to be difficult for him to keep up with his homework and keep up with the school schedule and keep up with after school activities, those sorts of things. Guess what? That makes for a very strong argument in court. So part two, right? How we combat this argument that you're trying to manipulate, that it's you trying to manipulate your son into not going to see the father. The way that we combat that is you offer reconciliation therapy, right? Where and what that is that is a type of therapy between a parent who the child doesn't want to see, right? And they go, and it's an opportunity for them to rekindle their relationship. Now, we offer that. There's a really, really good chance, a high chance, if this person is narcissistic, that they either say no or they say yes, and then they don't do it. So guess what happens? When they don't do it, you're off the hook. This person can't say that you're trying to not allow for the child to see them, because you are. You gave them an opportunity. You saw there was conflict between the two, and that person, your ex, didn't do their due diligence, right? They're the ones that didn't follow up. So they're the ones who are not engaging as a parent, right? So I would talk to your lawyer about a way to construct and way to present that as a solution to try to reconcile between the son and his father. But I would not push for him to actually do it. Just let go of control. Let him either participate in the reconciliation therapy or he doesn't. I would literally bet every single dollar in my account that he doesn't do it, or he goes for a couple of times and then he doesn't do it, and then he doesn't go anymore. Those sorts of things, right? And then when that happens, guess what? And he'll still try to say that you're trying to manipulate the child and that you don't want him to have a relationship with the child. Well, guess what? Then you pull up the records, Your Honor. I offered him reconciliation therapy. He didn't do it. Offered him he showed up and he only went to one session and he didn't do it. Whatever situation, whatever scenario that he does, you present that in court to show that you are doing your due diligence and that you did your best to try to keep and maintain that relationship between the two. With all that being said, thank you guys very much for writing in. Anyone else who has a question, make sure you send it to justaskmatt@mattpfeiffercoaching.com. Again, that is justaskmatt@mattpfeiffercoaching.com. Keep the email 2 to 3 paragraphs max. Be very direct and to the point of what your question actually is. If it's too long, if it's too lengthy, unfortunately, I will not be able to get to this. With all that being said, thank you very much. I will see you in the next video.